Hello and welcome. My name is Errity Green and this is Wise Woman Television. Today's pick a card reading is on your journey to six figures or your next steps to six figures. This will be a fun one. I first encourage you to like and subscribe. Liking ensures that other people see this video, and subscribing ensures your own commitment to yourself. So I will first put up the 3 card piles for you to intuitively choose from. And then we will get started. So, pile 1, your journey to six figures. So what you're moving toward is, as you begin to detox your life, you start on a journey where you are available for more inspiration, more insights, more ideas. You are going to be properly guided down the path of your soul's highest calling, because your soul, pile 1, wants you to thrive. It wants you to have all of your needs met. It wants you to be in overflow. It wants you to experience all that you desire and all that is meant for you here. Because pile 1, I feel a big energy for you guys in terms of your destiny, your purpose, what you're meant to be able to experience and receive in this life. And so that's on its way to you. That's going to happen as you begin to detox your life, okay? So for each of you, that's going to look different. I think you know, as I'm sharing this with you, you already know, but if you don't, let me give you some examples. So for some of you, this is going to be the kind of people that you're hanging around. It's ideal that you hang out or surround yourself with, even if it comes to family and loved ones, or at least set up really good boundaries, that they are of a high vibration or even higher than you, such that you are around people who are going to put you in a situation where they are available to taking your energy from you, okay? So you want to be able to detox your circle. Some of you, this looks like health and nutrition and diet, cleaning that up, because you can only experience the vibrations or the energy relevant to what you are carrying within you, okay, in your own energetic field, in your own physical body. And I have to be honest, I don't even love using those words, but that's all we have. And it just comes down to the container that you are, and are you able to connect with or hold that kind of vibrational experience of greater material wealth as a result of greater spiritual wealth? Is that possible for you? And if you are carrying around a lot of dense vibrations because of the food that you're eating and where it came from and how it was handled, and you know, whether it came from this kind of farm or that kind of farm, an upgrade in your diet is what is called for, or at least your health in some kind of way. For some of you, this is more movement I'm getting. That way you're able to clear some of those old energies out, or denser energies, denser emotions. You know, these are suppressed emotions, things that are probably from your past, your childhood. So a lot of you, it's health. A lot of you, it's the people that you're hanging around. A lot of it's just your lifestyle and the kind of daily habits that you're engaging in. They could be upgraded to better support you into a higher vibrational experience. And what I mean by that is you are able to attract greater experiences that reflect joy, optimism, love, gratitude, awe, reverence. You can step into more of those emotional experiences. And of course, the physical forms of those experiences look different and will look different for everyone based on what lights you up. But those become available to you as you begin to detox your life. This is your diet, your body, your circle, your habits, and then something is going to hit you. Something is going to hit you just the right time in terms of an inspiration, an insight, an idea, and it's going to become clear. Whether this is your purpose path becoming clear to you, or a particular direction or calling or whatever, it's going to become clear and be delivered to you essentially as you begin to clean things up. So pile 1. As you begin moving toward these higher vibrational experiences in terms of your diet, in terms of your habits, in terms of the people that you hang around with, you are going to be given, like I said, this inspiration, this idea, this knowing, and you are going to be guided. And part of what the reading is saying here is that this is a divinely guided opportunity. Take the leap. This is going to lead you down a particular path, stepwise ladder. Like, this is going to guide you down the path toward six figures, toward your next level, toward your greater success. There is something here about you're going to be asked at some point to take a risk, to take a chance, to take a leap. That's going to be required of you on this journey. And of course, as you're detoxing all of these things, you're going to be able to step into a greater position of personal power, and you will be more willing and courageous. If you're not now and that kind of scares you, or you're not used to saying yes to opportunities, or if that's really not your thing, and or you tend to say no or kind of run and hide when the opportunity arises, this is saying make sure you take that chance, and it's going to guide you down a pathway of not only coming to know yourself more and what it is that you want to do in the world, but also it's going to connect you to the right people, the right time, the right places, the whole synchronicity situation where you are sort of effortlessly or in a flow or organically, naturally guided toward where it is that you want to go. So part of your path then, of course, as you're detoxing, you're getting these insights, you're getting these inspirations, you're going to have to act on those things. You're not going to be able to get around that. You're going to have to act on that, and it's going to continue to have you encounter the right people, the right time, the right places. Now, how is this going to happen for you in terms of the deeper, the inner work? Is through severing your vows to poverty. So there are some of you in this group, when it comes to detoxing your circles and whatnot, part of this has to do with where you came from, your family of origin. It's all you're used to, it's all you're comfortable with, it's all you're familiar with. You're used to living at a certain level of experience, like you have a certain homeostasis or baseline, and that homeostasis or baseline can have to do with impoverished experiences or circumstances. So if in your childhood there were experiences of different forms of poverty, or it could be something as simple as you didn't have the field trip money one time for the amusement park or the museum, okay? But it can be also significant. You're being asked to clear some of that out of the way. And honestly, I feel that this happens quite naturally as you begin to detox your life as it is now. So as you're moving toward that, moving toward greater health, moving toward greater well-being, greater quality of life, greater support circle, that kind of thing, just your environment, where you spend your time, how you spend your time, what your habits are. These old vows of poverty are going to be cleared and released very naturally because they're all tied up in all that other stuff. You know, that kind of gunk or whatever is tied up with, you know, hanging out with that crowd and eating that kind of food and so on and so forth. So such that when some of that stuff starts being cleared out, a lot of these old vows of poverty, they're going to come to awareness for you. You're going to realize, oh wow, like I was really agreeing to that. I didn't even see that I was making a choice to live more impoverished than I had to. And that could look something like the caliber of friendships that you have, the caliber of people that you hang around with, the caliber of your workplace, the caliber of your business, whatever. We are oftentimes called to upgrade that caliber, that level, as we are shifting and transforming and stepping into these higher vibrational energies. And then we realize, oh my gosh, I cannot believe all this time that's what I was dealing with or living with. And you don't even see it, you can't even recognize it usually until you're in a different perspective or mindset as a result of the transformation that happens within. Now this will require you again, that deeper inner work that we were talking about, to become aware of it, and to be clearing some of these old belief systems out, old patterns out, old value systems out. And all that means is that as things come up in your life and as you're kind of moving and shifting and changing, you're just observing yourself. You're observing what's coming up for you. You're observing your feelings, how you feel about certain things. You're observing your old patterns, and you're just taking notice of it. And from that place, you might glean the origin of it. Oh, this came from this, or this is the root of that, or this is the core wound of that. And then you might be able to recognize what your absolute truth is, like what the deeper, higher, more authentic truth is for you. Then you might recognize how you can make different choices or take new actions in order to support a different experience, a different quality of life. So it will require some self-reflection, some self-discovery, some digging up and clearing out. But I think a lot of that's going to be very natural as you begin to take the physical action of clearing things out. All this stuff is going to come up to the surface. So if you feel like you might need support with that, I would encourage you to get that support. You know, I've done this work. A lot of people call it shadow work or whatever. Whether you do it with a therapist, a mentor, a coach, it doesn't matter. But make sure you go to someone that you're guided toward, because sometimes it can be difficult to manage a lot of these old feelings and not knowing where they came from, and they're they can feel so big or even out of control or consuming or overwhelming, you know, and you just want to make sure that you are equipped and supported to navigate that journey and to like move through the underworld with support and with a guiding light, as opposed to maybe doing it on your own and getting distracted in the underworld. Not the greatest place to like hang out in, because then, you know, depression and things like that can come around. And that's not to instill fear or make it sound scary. I just offer it might be a good idea to get support to sort of walk with you while you move through this journeying, because it can be a very deeply transformational experience. It will also be empowering for you, and of course this is your journey to greater success or six figures, so it's worth it for you. You get to experience greater spiritual and material wealth as a result. And of course, decluttering, detoxing is coming up again, and what's going to happen is after you've shifted, so for pile one, I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to move through some underworld journeying. As we said, you'll be having to look at some of like your inner demons, so to speak, some of the old patterns, some of the old belief systems, some things that you were aligning with or agreeing to or expecting, like those kinds of things that were helping create and uphold these old realities. And as you're seeing those and you're taking new action, the new life will begin to be born, which is wonderful, but it will take some clearing out of the old. So do get that help, and the outcome is that you come out on the other side, and you do come out. We already know your ending to your journey, pile one, because it was the very first message, is that you end up getting that insight, that inspiration, that guidance to walk toward a new path, a new direction, a new calling, a higher calling, your soul's mission and purpose, your greater life path, your higher potential. There are a million ways to say it, but you are given the morsels and the breadcrumbs, and or they become clearer and more specific and, you know, clear to you as you begin to clear out all of this stuff. So definitely for you, pile one, you are focused on detoxing, decluttering, clearing out, which is going to support you to step into a higher vibrational experience, both inside and outside. Again, if you haven't done this work before and you're just now stepping into it, I would suggest getting some support just to have some structured guidance to move through that, and it'll be more accelerated for you, so you're not hanging out wondering what's going on. It can be very helpful to have someone moving you along, but you are on your way, and this is all that's required, and you have this potential available for you just like anyone else does, and it just requires these steps. So thank you, pile one. I'm so glad you joined me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I encourage you to like and subscribe, or even comment below if this landed for you. I also want to let you know I do offer both personal readings as well as coaching sessions in order to support you to bring this reading to life and to partner with you on your journey. So thank you, pile one. Okay, so pile two. Pile two, your journey to six figures, or your next steps to six figures. Okay, so what's happening here is it sounds like you've already been on the path for a while. You've been on the path of evolution for a while. So you've done some clearing work, some shadow work, some inner work, some energetic or esoteric work, however you want to label it, however you define it, whatever that means to you. Pile one is moving through that currently, and whether they have done it before, they're being asked to do it again. And for you, pile two, you've already done some of that, okay? And there is something specific here that's being asked of you, is you have this feeling of, it could be comparison, it could be competition, it could be entitlement, it could be bitterness, it could be resentment, and there's something here that's in the way of your own success or your own spiritual and material wealth, because you are holding up a judgment against those who have like already gotten there before you, or you feel like you should already have it, or you've done enough work and this is mine, and like I'm an advancer and I'm an old soul, so this, you know, why does this person have it and not me? But there's definitely a sense or a vibe here of entitlement, of competition, of comparison, of just feeling like this should already be yours, like you've already worked hard enough. And as that's cleared out, and as you just give attention to that, take notice of it, honestly, so much of the clearing or deeper or inner work or whatever is just giving observation and awareness to what is already within you. So now that you know this, look at it. You might even sit with it, see what feelings come up, and allow yourself to experience it, allow yourself to feel it. Some of you will be guided toward where this originated from, if there's original wounding. Some of you will just experience these superficial feelings of the now that I'm bringing up to you. It might connect in with a belief or a pattern or something like that, where you end up holding yourself back or playing small because you're kind of done and you're done with everyone else being more successful than you, right? So it's going to be unique and individual to each and every one of you. However, I encourage you to explore that, see where that's happening, because as you step into sort of locking arms, and not that you literally have to lock arms with these other people, but as you see yourself as a player on the field, and a valid player on the field, things are going to open up for you. And what I mean is, if you are looking at people that way in terms of bitterness or resentment or entitlement, you actually are feeling insecure. So that is rooted from an insecurity. It would seem like it's arrogance, right? Or, because it's coming from entitlement, like, I've done all the work, I should be there, da, 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 da. But in truth, it stems from insecurity. And all you have to do is validate yourself as a true player on the field. Like, you are just as powerful, just as capable of success as these other people. You are just as capable for reward, recognition, 6 figures. Like, you are just as capable. Letting yourself, or acknowledging, reminding yourself that you are a player on this field just like anybody else. That's going to help you step into a place of attracting what it is that you really deeply desire and know is yours and that you can claim. But you have to step into the field. If you're always on the outside of the field looking at everybody and kind of getting mad or bitter that everyone else has it and you don't, you're not a player on the field. You're watching, all right? You got to step into the game. Now, it says here there's an opportunity for a raise or promotion or something like that here in your near future, okay? I actually might even pull another clarifier card. You guys know I rarely do this. However, every once in a while I do it if I feel called. And so what this is saying is that you end up on a path, or you might even be there now, that ends up being successful once you clear out this particular pattern, okay? So it's like you're already on the path to success. You're already on your way there. Again, I already mentioned that. You've already kind of put in some of the work, done the things, put your money where your mouth is. Like, you guys are a little bit, ahead here. Like, to a degree, well, I know I said you're not in the playing field or in the way that you're observing yourself, but you are actually in the field. You just need to sort of give yourself permission to be in there and own that, okay? Because you're already on the path, and it's saying you're going to be successful. Like, whether it's a raise, whether it's promotion, whether it's getting that 6 figures, whatever path you're on, if you can just stop doubting yourself and stop focusing on other people and stop focusing on what you don't have and stop focusing on how you're different or not or whatever from other people or other people you feel, have got it and you don't. As soon as that attention is gone, you are going to be able to step into a space that can attract greater wealth for yourself. All right, and then pile 2, there is a note here. There are a couple messages that are coming through. So, of course, this is your path or your journey to 6 figures, but oftentimes, too, in readings, we'll get messages that come through in terms of like, hey, be aware of this, or hey, keep an eye on this. And a couple of things is this path may end up coming around in terms of the path that you're on where greater money comes. It's going to come, or very well may come, in an unexpected way. So, either it's unconventional and like what you're doing is more unconventional or alternative, or it's something along the lines of you're not going to expect it. Like suddenly it comes out of nowhere, it comes out of left field, and this thing blows up and becomes successful. Now, you do want to keep an eye on if you have any patterns or agreements or old histories or whatever around martyrdom and around like giving away yourself or your services for free, or feeling like you have to give to others, but you don't have to give to yourself, or you don't want to take their money even though you're providing a service. So there's something there, a paradigm or a pattern of martyrdom, like the savior, the hero, that might want to be looked at and to be cleared, because what this reading is saying is it's going to be very hard for you to acquire any wealth, but also maintain that wealth, even if you're on this path that is essentially saying will become successful or bring you what you desire as you journey forward, if you continue to be someone who is not prioritizing themselves and is prioritizing someone else instead of themselves. You are being called instead to focus on valuing yourself, paying yourself first, and ensuring your own needs, and so on and so forth, especially if it's something that you're providing in terms of a transactional nature, ensuring that Number one, it's you, and then everyone else can come after that. And in fact, you don't even have to think about anyone else, right? You're thinking about you, and when you are in a place of greater spiritual material wealth, then your cup is full and you're able to give and play that sort of rescuer, martyr, hero that you want to be, except that you're a true hero because you have gone through your own heroine's or hero's journey such that you are in a place of overflow and able to give and give from a full cup instead of an empty one. So it's saying like you might be that person who likes to give. You might be that person who has compassion for people, who wants to do great work in the world, who wants to support the poor or whatever. You might have these big visions and deep compassion for people, but it might have thrown you off the path at different times. And this is saying like, that's cool. Like you don't have to deny that part of yourself or like clear that or whatever. This is saying that, hey, you're just a better Robin Hood when you actually have money to give. You're a better Robin Hood when you actually have energy to give. Like, how can you possibly be Robin Hood if you have no coins in your pockets? Okay? So it's saying don't let that throw you off the path, because part of your journey, pile 2, and we're getting to like the crux of what this is for you. You know, pile 1's, they came first, like it was very clear what theirs was, but yours here comes at the very end, and it's saying this is about a self-love journey for you, pile 2. This is all about self-love, and that does connect to your first card, where it was that you're talking about entitlement and looking at other people and feeling insecure. The more you validate yourself and your own power and your own deservingness and your own worth and your own path, all of those things and more, the more you are going to step into a place where you're able to attract the money that you desire, and you're going to be available for receiving. Because if you're, again, saying that you're not a player in the game, but you're actually just watching and like calling things out, like, oh, I don't like that this person has it. I'm not even saying you're a judgmental person like this. I'm just giving you an example. I want to give you a visual that if you're in the audience and you're just kind of observing and kind of deciding what you think about things, like just making evaluations, you're not actively in there doing it. You need to own it, step into the game, and play the game. You can't win it if you're not playing it. So it's asking for you to play the game. And the more you step into and embody this greater amount of self-love, where you do validate yourself and you do validate your work in the world and you do validate your deservingness, your deservingness of both spiritual wealth, which is already natural and inherent to you always. You just have to avail yourself to it. And then physical wealth, the more you step into that, the more you step into the availability to receive. The universe, God, Great Spirit, Cosmos, whatever you call it, can then give to you. If you're on the outside of the playing field and you're saying essentially through your actions or thoughts or beliefs that I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, but these people are, that's how the universe is going to respond to you. It's going to say, oh, okay, you're not worthy, you're not deserving. Okay, got it. You know, we have to love ourselves, and then we are shown love. And it doesn't mean it always has to come that way, or that it's always like, you know, I don't want to get into the philosophy of it. I have tons of videos on my channel that talk and teach and things like that. So it might be in there somewhere. However, it's asking you specifically, pile 2, to step into more self-love so that you can receive what it is that you desire. So thank you, pile 2. I'm so glad that you watched. If this resonated, I encourage you to comment below and to like and subscribe. And I also want to let you know I do both personal readings as well as coaching sessions to support you on this journey and to help you bring this reading to life. So we can do that kind of work and get you to 6 figures. All right. Thank you, pile 2. Okay, pile 3, your path, your journey, your next steps to 6 figures. So what's coming up right away for you is that it's like you already have some plans, okay? You already have an idea of what you need to do. Yours feels very practical. So some of the other piles were sort of this deeper or inner journeying and spiritual work and things like that. Probably still relevant for you, always is, right? However, for you, things feel very practical for pile 3. You guys already know what you need to do. You might already have a budget. You might already have a plan. You might already have a business. You might have all the things, right? And this is just asking you to like start walking, taking the action, putting your money where your mouth is, following the plan. If you have decided to start paying off debts, things like that, I would do so, because that is a suggestion that's being offered here to start putting your money where your mouth is in terms of sort of those more practical pieces around money. You know, keeping an eye on a budget, being aware of where your money goes, being grateful that you get money, you know, keeping an eye on where your money is at, having a savings account, whatever, right? But it's going to be unique to each and every one of you. You guys have some practical plans and you're being guided to start cleaning that up. Now, there is something here, though, about also cleaning up energetic debts. So if there are old loose ends that need to be tied up, tie those up. If there are chapters that need to be completed in your life, I would close those find a way to create closure in your life. Find a way to complete or resolve that chapter or that interaction or that relationship or that pain, okay? So start clearing up some of that energy, because it sounds like you're ready to rock and you're ready to move forward. There's momentum here. There is an action plan here. It sounds like you already know the plan. So it's just a matter of getting going and then starting to clear out some of that old stuff, okay? So taking action while clearing out some of that old stuff, like I said, whether it be old chapters, old relationships, whatever. This doesn't feel too deep, like I said earlier, where it's all this deep clearing work or anything. This feels more practical, in that as you begin moving forward on the path, these other things are going to kind of fall away naturally. It will require your attention. It will require you to be aware and conscious of what you're closing and what you're clearing up, and the debts that you're sort of paying. If you need to make a phone call, if you need to have a conversation, if you need to write a letter, whatever those are, do that, because that's stepping you into coming into a place where you actually feel like you are coming alive. Okay, so you start kind of feeling like you're firing on all cylinders. You feel vibrant. You feel really good, healthy, alive, well. This is going to support your health. And as you sort of come on board or come online and begin moving forward, you create a momentum that supports you in not only coming alive, but there even could be something that you're really passionate about or inspired by, something you're excited about that's moving you towards something, you're drawn towards something. And as all of this is gearing up and getting energy moving, because like I said, you've already done a lot of clearing work. This is just kind of the final end of it, the final piece. So you're walking toward where it is you want to go. You're kind of putting the practicalities in place. You're starting to feel better. You're starting to feel alive, and so that you're old, just like you might go sometimes, go through a difficult time, journeying in the underworld, as I like to call it, or through depression or things like that. And you guys are on the other side of that. So if you did go through something like that, or you have gone through something like that, you're coming out the end, or you're already on the other side, and any obstacles or blocks or whatever just start being lifted. They start being cleared away. They're being dissolved, because all this momentum that you're building through your action, because you're doing what you said you're going to do, and you're following through on your plans, and you're following through on your vision, and you're just following through. You're getting and going like a train, right? At first it might be a little slow, right? And you're clearing up these old chapters or tying up loose ends, and then you keep taking action that things are clearing out, and then it's a well-oiled machine, and then you just start moving and you're building momentum, okay? Now there is a message here to hold the faith, be optimistic, believe in yourself, know that this is on its way, know that this is what you're meant for, know that this is what you came here for. So there might be some doubts in pile 3 because you haven't seen it yet, or it hasn't been in your hands yet, or whatever, that you think it's not going to come, but you're very much on the other side of this. We went through pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. It's interesting that it's almost like a chronological sequence of development, such that you're on the tail end of this. Pile 1 was sort of at the beginning, pile 2 was in the middle to end of the journey. You're at the end, and you're clearing out, coming out. If you've been in a ditch or a trench or whatever, or cliffside, you're up and out. You don't have to be worried about that. It's after the storm, it's long gone. So hold the faith of what is true for you now and what you know is possible, and hold the vision. You're already on your way. So whatever it is that you need to do, whether it be money management or business management or vision management, just getting aligned with what it is that you truly want, and start taking action on that. Because as you do, you're going to start seeing everything unfold. It's just going to start happening boom, 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 like fireworks, and then the big boom, shebang finale there at the end. Not at the end of your life, but at the end of this particular journey, because it doesn't feel too far away. This feels like I said, it's picking up speed. You're making a lot of momentum here, and things just sort of coming out of thin air. They really start coming out of thin air for you. And we could call that, I know we've heard it before, the windfall of abundance, but yours comes in pockets. We're oh, that's a pretty good success, or that's a big accomplishment. Oh, wow, I got recognition here. This is happening, whatever. And then it just starts building steam, building momentum. And oh my gosh, you guys, everything, all of your wishes, this is wish fulfillment. This is the big dream happens. You get this happens for you, and you step into a place of overflow, people. This is really cool. I love pile 3. I'm I'm gonna do this later. I really hope I'm pile 3. Pile 3, and all these are beautiful journeys, but I've already done pile 1 and pile 2. Okay, I've done the work of that. So, and I know for my pile 3s, you have too. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching. So we can say this. So everything comes to fruition. Everything that you wanted, everything that you dream of, that vision that you're working toward, the things that you're acting toward or moving toward in terms of your action plan. We were talking about earlier, like putting your money where your mouth is in terms of what it is that you say you want, but actually following through and just holding to that, staying positive, holding to faith, and just journeying toward that, not even focusing on any of this BS or anything else. You step into not only wish fulfillment, this dream, this greater vision, what it is you truly want for yourself, but you step into overflow. And I'm even feeling like for you guys, and it actually brings up some emotion in me, you guys end up having enough money to do things that you never thought possible. You're able to save money for your children, maybe even inheritance. You're able to pay for their college or whatever it is that you're setting aside. You're able to do some philanthropy or charitable work. You are able to let me see if there's anything else coming through. You're able to give generously. You're able to buy your loved one presents and surprise people and do fun things like that that really light you up. So there's a lot of beauty that comes from this. Like you're really stepping into a place of not only receiving abundance, but being able to experience generosity on all levels, because life, God, universe, cosmos is generous with you, and you are then generous with the world, and it's just this beautiful cycle. So that's really, really awesome, pile 3, and I'm very excited for you. Awesome work. So if this lands for you, I encourage you to comment below, as well as like and subscribe if that resonates. And I want to let you know I do offer both coaching sessions as well as personal readings if you want support to bring this to life. So I'd love to do that work for you if it lands, and you can just check out the details below, and I will see you next time.